Saying the intro's good, isn't it?
Oh, it's a bit over the top.
It took me hours.
Isn't it? If we was on Channel 4, it'd be alright.
Yeah, well.
But it's just
Like
like...
time, innit, Flav?
It's like just because you can doesn't mean you should.
But maybe you could, so you would.
No, you shouldn't.
I think it's good.
It's good. It is really good. But
okay.
we... Like, how many people want to watch this? 5,000? Get 5,000 views?
I'll take it.
I'll take it as well, so it doesn't require an intro. Look, it's you know what the fucking thing
People
is.
have been
right?
excited to see me and you in a
I
room.
don't care, right? You know what? There's a couple of things. Just because you can use After Effects doesn't mean you're as good as the product that you create. It wasn't even in After Effects, was it? It was some other thing that I've never even heard of.
It was After Effects. Tweak it on After. Leave it. Hi everyone. It's so brilliant to be back with my old pal, Flav. We've got a podcast here, and you can see by the name there, we're calling it...
Bad name, isn't it?
It's not a name.
What? Why? How do you end up calling it Flav and James? Sorry, James and Flav.
James and Flav for now, we're calling it. For now. Because literally, the guy at the podcast hosting company, won't say the company in case, treat him mean and all that. That they
Again,
were like, you
we're
need
not big enough
to.
as well.
He's got to visualise
To realise.
to epitomise.
Very true.
He said you're gonna have to put a name down. I asked you. You said stop texting me. I said, well, you're gonna have to reply at some point. You went, not if I don't have to.
No.
I said,
well, yeah.
I said, well,
Just make a decision.
Yeah, okay.
And
I went, well, I will then. So I put it's James and Flav for now.
It's inspired.
But get in those comments. If you've got a better idea for a name for a podcast, is this actually a podcast? I know you would get a bit funny about stuff like this, especially when you film it.
It's bastardised by so many people, it doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
It is a podcast, but it's not. The word podcast, that doesn't matter. Look, let's just go.
So, tricky thing is here, I basically just had a blank page and I've got to think of new stuff to do. We go again.
There's
no
comments.
Yeah.
There's no audience, is there?
Exactly. There's no comments. There's no audience. It's a fresh page. You need to think of new things. I said to you, got any ideas?
Just go with what you think.
Shark news.
Shark news.
Yeah. Should we come to that later? Do you want to say that?
Yeah.
Up to you.
No, come to it later.
Okay.
I haven't got any.
So we've got a name for the podcast. Also, I've got the capabilities to go live at some point. So another room in the place.
Why is it like there's cameras everywhere in your house? What's that about? I'm literally walking around and there's like a camera there. There's a camera in your hallway. Why have you got these?
Most people have these.
Why have you got
security?
Security. So you've got cameras inside your house for security.
Right.
They're broken in by the time you're looking at them.
What do you mean? Yeah, but then it's recorded. So
you can get them. But that's not security, mate.
But that's better than...
You have to put a notice outside saying there are cameras in this flat. That's security. That prevents people from coming in. It's not security. This camera can't do fuck all from someone breaking that door in. Is it connected to the internet, Jim?
You get notifications.
So it is connected to the internet. So anyone hacking this shit can look into your flat and see you knocking one out everything. Can't they?
Yeah, well, but I'm careful with that.
It's like this is what everyone's moaning about. Surveillance. The government know everything about me. I want my privacy, and then you're inviting people into your house by that.
I'm not.
It's pathetic.
Do you know what, mate? Let's cards on the table.
Look, you chose to live in South London. You should expect this shit.
It's lovely. I haven't had any problems.
It's a shithole.
Big Don. No, he's not.
Fuck him anyway. Since I
haven't heard a peep from him.
Since I left Ball Street, Tanvir has not made any effort to reach out to me. Not once.
No.
The only time he reacts is I post a picture of my dog. Then he might react. Other than that, he just gets on with doing what he's getting up to, the dirty antics for the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Or something on Twitter where he's clout chasing. Really, he misses it. He's the light. It shone so bright. And I think now he's like, guys, I'm still big dog.
He's not big dog.
Not anymore.
Yeah, he's no dog. Like, so don't tweet him anymore. He's cancelled. Tanvir is cancelled.
Okay, cheers. So basically, I don't really know what to do with the podcast, so I've just written a list of stuff that I thought might be interesting. Is that right?
Yeah, I've written that. Lovely. Make sure we're refreshed.
Yeah, stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated. So can you move that away from your computer, mate? Like one, you know what?
Near the plug.
You know what could happen?
What? It's alright. At least it'll be recorded.
You're a fucking madman.
So, first thing on the list I've got here.
Is it on now?
It's always on. Roy Keane popped him in there.
I love Roy Keane.
You were telling me about talking of Twitter. You're talking about the latest. What's it called? Out of context.
So yes, it's like every big thing. You know?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Well, look, someone
Okay.
made up a no context fighting cock, which is my other podcast.
Right.
Yeah. About things that are said on the podcast when out of context are quite
Put it there. Fuck you.
controversial. That's fine. Just don't look at the keyboard.
Right.
So out of context, this was said on the podcast just the other night. You have to put a camera in your room just in case you get accused of rape. Now, out of context, that's quite bad.
Out of context, and because that could mean anything.
Yeah. But what it was in reference to the Neymar story, where the girl and her boyfriend have been charged with falsely accusation of rape, and Neymar's now in the clear. And the reason why that's so obvious that that's what she did is because he had a camera in his room, and the woman jumped on the bed.
3 cheers for cameras in their room.
That's true. You will never get accused of rape. That's a fact, unless you actually do. Yes, I'll never get accused of rape. Yeah, so
you know what I mean?
Of course. That's a good thing. It's like...
Yeah, not that I've done it.
Yeah.
And it's more like plank
I'm
on.
above the law.
Yeah.
Where was I? So there was this video of Neymar getting on with his bed. She jumps on the bed. Within 5 seconds of him getting on the bed, she starts kicking and screaming and saying he raped her.
Yeah.
Right. So it was saying that someone with a profile of his level it's a good idea to record this shit. The problem is you can't record someone having sex without their consent. So, but either way, it disproved it. What kind of person? Like, that's the lowest of the low for a woman to accuse a man of rape when he hasn't done it for 2 reasons. One, you can destroy the man's life.
Yeah.
And equally as important, there are so many women that are actually sexually assaulted but never can never see it through the courts, or don't feel brave enough to come forward because they feel like they won't get a conviction.
Money leads to most crimes, doesn't it? Lack of. That was
so profound.
Hit that subscribe button. It does, doesn't it? If you think the root of
all evil is money, that's
yeah.
That's an old.
Well, sometimes you need to freshen it up, and I feel like I've done that there.
Yeah.
What was it? The thing, but the other thing with the podcast is they were saying that Alex Ferguson is possibly above the law because.
Oh yeah. So the other comment was that Alex Ferguson, if he wasn't such a good football manager, he could get away with horrendous acts. My point is when someone's successful in say, you know, in a football manager or anywhere in society, when there's money to be made, they're generally protected quite well.
Yeah.
And you get to a point where there is no money to be made, where things start coming up.
Right, I get your point.
And hopefully with this more kind of open-minded and more woke culture that we found ourselves in now, there'll be less. Does
that mean it's not real?
I have issues with the word woke.
Okay.
I think it's getting people behaving in a way that's stupid.
Well, that's a little tease for you guys. I've got a long list of words that you might be not happy with, which we can talk about in a little bit. But yeah, with Roy Keane, the reason I think that's interesting is that leads me on perfect to Roy Keane. You've seen all the stuff of him and John Walters, him digging out John Walters.
And Alex Ferguson.
Yeah.
Said he wasn't a great man manager.
Yeah.
What's that face for? Well, how do you know? He knows better than you.
No.
You went, yeah, like...
Have you seen that clip where he's gone, who's your best manager? And like, deadpan, he goes, Brian Clough. When Brian Clough was managing Roy Keane, he was a...
child. Just
about functioning alcoholic.
Who?
Brian Clough.
Oh, right.
That's common knowledge.
Right. What's that got to do with his ability to manage football? I'm a functioning alcoholic. I'm here.
I wouldn't put you in that bracket.
Guess you don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
True. But him saying that, I was like, "What are you doing?" There's such a bitterness to Roy Keane, don't you think? And it come out again with the Sir Alex Ferguson thing, the John Walters thing.
He's an angry man. He holds a lot of bitterness about him, and I don't think he's a positive person. But that's who Roy Keane is. Like, he's more interesting than he says interesting stuff. Like I watch Piers Morgan in the morning on Good Morning Britain, right?
You struggled with the last word of it.
Britain, it's Good Morning Britain. Right, and if Piers Morgan isn't on it, he's on there 3 days a week, and it's boring Ben Shepherd.
Careful.
I'm not
Ben
going to watch
Shepherd's
it.
a national treasure.
Piers Morgan, although I don't agree with hardly anything he says, there are some things he says I do agree with.
Oh, it's me.
What is that? Who is it?
It's Charlie.
Charlie who?
Smedley.
Nice guy, Charlie.
Okay, later.
Yeah, you sure?
Yeah.
Lovely guy, Charlie.
Great guy.
That's some lovely beer.
He what?
It's a lovely beer when he was on his stag.
Oh yeah, because he hates beer.
He hates beer. Yeah.
So the thing with Roy Keane, right, and it's similar to Alex Ferguson in a way, again in a different context. So Ian Holloway, of course, he's a god in my eyes to a point. He was on Talk Sport, and they were talking about Roy Keane's comments about John Waters, which were really harsh and really unnecessary. He was basically digging him out. And saying that he wasn't a good professional, and then he's now seeing him on the circuit of doing punditry and all this stuff, and he basically little digs about he never won a trophy, and then I saw him crying on goals on Sunday as well. He was crying on goals on Sunday because I think he'd lost, I don't know exactly, but he'd lost his dad, he'd lost like a couple of people in his life like quite quickly. He had a really difficult 6 months in his career.
Well, and he was talking about it.
And he was talking about that and getting emotional. And Roy Keane's like hammering him for all of this
crying.
stuff, these little digs. Yeah, exactly.
That's a toxic masculinity.
And the Fergie stuff, the interviewer rightly says, do you not feel like, kind of calm down with your feelings on Fergie a little bit when he's gone through what he's gone through recently, when he's like, he nearly passed away recently, Ferguson. And again, Roy Keane was just like, I'll let it go when he apologises to me.
That's fair enough.
But so then Holloway on Talk Sport, I feel like he was kind of pushed into this a tiny bit.
Well, they'll definitely set an agenda.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like what you used to do to me and Bull Street.
You play the bad guy.
Yeah. So I want you to say this. I was like, I don't really believe it, but all right.
Yeah, just say it. Bringing down the fourth wall then. It's just a bit fun, isn't it?
Yeah. Think of the engagement.
Think of the engagement, yeah. Can we hit 100? No. The thing with, Holloway was then going, I just loved him as a footballer. God, that's good, isn't it? I just loved him as a footballer, and, that's what he was like then. And I respect him that, what you got with Roy Keane. That's really good. I'm really chuffed with that. Anyway, sorry. But my point is, and the reason I disagree with Holloway in that sense is, when you're a footballer, you'll get away with stuff because you're so good at football. It's for the betterment of that occupation.
Yeah.
As soon as you finish playing football, you should be judged with a different set of rules, in my eyes. Holloway was kind of excusing the stuff that Roy Keane had said because he'd been a great footballer, not because he actually believed in what he was saying, right?
Mm.
And I feel like Roy Keane, as soon as he stops playing, we need to... Okay, if he says stuff that's inflammatory, that's great and that's enjoyable. But when he's saying stuff like that, he needs to be judged in the right way, which is ultimately some of these strengths that made him a great player make him a...
Not a decent human being.
Possibly.
What his public persona isn't anything to do with him being a decent human being. And he's asked a question, he's going to answer it truthfully. He's not walking around telling everybody knows Alex Ferguson's a prick.
But he's not answering it truthfully. He's answering it from a point of bitterness.
No, that's truth to him. You don't know what goes on in his head.
No.
It's better than him. So many people are walking around talking about and saying things that put them in a positive light. Right? Right, and because they're scared of the reaction of what people might say. They're scared of the moral outrage. They're scared of saying what they truthfully think. That's why conservatives win the election, but no one admits to being a conservative, right? No one walks around going, I vote Tory. No one. Yeah. Because they know that people look at them with disdain, but Tories keep winning elections. So why is that? It's people... There are not enough people that say how they truly feel. And in order to progress... People have to have open dialogues with people. But the minute you say something that's sort of mildly controversial, sort of right, gammon. I get called a gammon a lot.
What's gammon?
Gammon's like snowflakes and gammon. So gammon would be like old Brexiteers.
Right.
It's kind of right wing.
Who's giving you that then? What did you say to get that?
I say, I don't know really. It's just...
on Twitter?
It's mainly my friends have been saying it.
You sound really hurt there. My friends.
Yeah, so I've been accused of it, and but what I've realised is that lots of people hold they're not even controversial. They're just opinions. But if someone don't agree with them, I primarily left wing people. They're so vocal and loud about how much they disagree with you and how wrong you are that it's easier just to not say nothing at all. And this is coming from someone who votes Labour and is left wing. Yeah. But I see how the left wing are part of the problem.
There was something on, I think it was in Panorama, they were talking about stuff like that. The fact that it's got to a point where it feels like the left wing, like liberal viewpoint, is so vocal now.
Always has been though.
Yeah, I guess it has. Yeah, maybe it's just allowed to be louder. Maybe
it's been amplified by social media.
Yeah, and I guess people want to jump on board with stuff that's like people being understanding and those kind of things.
So there's this. There was an article published in the Guardian about a woman who said she will never go out with a man who claims to be a feminist. She does because she doesn't believe it, for first off, but secondly, it's a mechanism that men use to get in women's good books. I'm a feminist. You'll see it all the time on Twitter, right? Where a thick bird is saying, I can't stand men are dogs. You know, the scumbag left me on red and hasn't texted me. Yeah. And then in the comments, underneath the tweets, and there'll be people here that have done it, right? Find a tweet by a pretty girl complaining about men, and then underneath it, guaranteed, there'll be men in there backing up her claims or saying something that's calling men trash. They're creeps.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Their aim is to get in the girl's pants. They're worse because they're going undercover.
If only Big Dog was here, I can ask him about that.
yeah. You go, girl. You go, girl.
Yeah, you do you.
You do you, and then do me. But you do you.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's no link there. Normally there's a link.
No. Let's move on.
Okay. Right. Other things I've got on the list. Do you want football? Or do you want not football? Football.
Well, non-football. I don't care, man. Whatever.
Cheers. Want to talk about England? Briefly. Well, can I just read this out?
What do you want to say? And then if I have
here's
anything,
what I'd
I'll
like to
respond.
say about England.
Just reading WhatsApp while you go.
Huh?
I'm just reading WhatsApp while you.
Cool. So
you spent ages just talking to the cameras on your own.
Yeah, I love it.
You did it for 40 minutes live.
I couldn't believe that. I was like, I so screwed up on this live stream, right? Because I was like, let's stop. I don't want to go on forever. I was like, I don't want to go on. I said this in my head. I said, I don't want to go on forever. So I'm going to do this live stream talking about the weekend. And I'm going to get, what about 15 minutes? That's good. I'll do a 15-minute timer. So I put it on this OBS thing, which I'm trying to do for live streams. Which we can do a podcast live if we wanted to, if people wanted us to. And not into it. Just quicker, less editing.
Let's
anyway, get to the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I put this timer in, and then I couldn't hear it playing at the time, obviously because I was talking. And when it got to zero, it goes boop, boop. I'm so sorry, but people were like, people that were watching me.
Oh, no, fine.
Anyway, I spoke with the aim of speaking for 15 minutes. I spoke for 40 minutes.
Yeah. Are you proud of that? Is that a good thing? Was it? Because I didn't watch it.
No, why would you?
Was it fluff?
No, they'd have to tell you that. From a career point of view, I think it's a good thing. From a
confidence thing.
From a waffling point of view, good or bad, depending on your spin. Right. Anyway, speaking of which, England won both games, scored, was it 4-0, 5-0? So I went to the game, I've forgotten the... God, that's bad. I've forgotten the... I went to England, Bulgaria, I went to Wembley on Saturday.
Alright, what was the atmosphere like? Dead.
So I tweeted this out, actually. I was saying, so you look round, and it was like a concert. There's a lot... It's like a Take That concert. There's loads of kids, loads of families. And that's good, right?
Not really, is it?
But then I was thinking, it's
not good for atmosphere. It's good because society's got to a position where they can go, or football's got to a position where women and children can go.
Yeah, and so the atmosphere was bad.
But they don't bellow out the anthems, do they?
They don't bellow out the anthems. Did you see that? That was amazing.
I haven't watched a single minute.
So Albania, France, right? Albania, France. They got the national anthem wrong, right? So then Albania kicked
Andorra,
off.
Was they playing the Andorran?
Was it? No, Armenia. Was it Armenia?
Armenia.
It might be an Andorran. I'm not sure. Anyway, they played the wrong one.
You see the players' faces. They're like...
Yeah, and then they were like, "What's going on?" Complained, and this is in France. So this is not like I don't know, like a lesser nation where there might not be the same kind of.
What are you saying?
What, a lesser nation
wouldn't
professionalism.
So hang on a minute. What?
Wrong word, maybe.
What do you mean?
No, it's
what's a lesser nation? Give me an example of a lesser nation, Jim.
Like a lesser nation would be, in footballing sense.
That's not this.
Chad. Right? That's what I mean.
Chad's a great shout.
Thank you.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's what I mean in terms of the logistics of a stadium and doing all those bits and things. Right. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
So they get that wrong, right? So then the Albanians go, well, this ain't right. And they complain. And then they go, right, we'll play it again. They played it right. And then the announcer apologised to them, but called them Armenia.
My perspective on this is that they should just get over it. Like,
the national anthem thing, getting it wrong.
Yeah, just it's a mistake.
I know, but
no one did it intentionally, and no one's gonna. What is it? What country was it? Albania. I have no fucking clue what they're. I don't even know what.
Yeah, they're not going. Yeah, but Flav will be upset. No one cares what you think.
I know, but my point is that just don't worry about it. So someone made a mistake. We're sorry. It isn't a big deal.
Do you know what? Yeah, but it looks worse in terms of like national pride, patriotism, all that stuff. It looks worse if you go, oh, don't worry. No, honestly, no. Honestly, it's fine. Let's just crack on with the game.
Yes.
No, you better go. Well, no. Can you find it?
No.
Just go on Spotify and
find
it.
Just go and play football.
It takes 2 seconds. I don't think it's that big a deal. Anyway, went to the England game, and there was a lot of families, a lot of kids, and I did ask that question of, if you're gonna, because there's this obvious line, and it's turning into like the FA Cup thing. One of like people being fuming about there being an international break. That joke is like old and boring for me.
I don't think it's a joke, is it? Everyone hates it. It's boring. It is. You love England.
I love England.
And you're sick and tired of people putting England down and then watching them during the World Cup.
And then you get the good bits. The thing is, like, stop moaning now. It's necessary though. It's necessary.
For what?
Because if you want a World Cup or a Euros, if you want that, shut up.
No. They should just give us the points. Why are Bulgaria coming to town? Why are Kosovo coming to town?
Right.
Just give us the points.
So Spurs,
you're never going to beat us.
That's like you going. So Spurs with the Champions League. Imagine if 5, 6, 7 years ago, they just let the top teams go to the quarterfinals. You'd never progress.
No, like if you're seeded in Pot A, you shouldn't have to play in the group stages. It's a waste of everybody's time.
I mean, like the Champions League, the disparity between, you can see in all of those groups, pretty much most of them.
It's no point in playing.
There's 2 and there's another 2.
Just save the legs. Save the players' legs.
But
give them a buyout, a group.
That's terrible.
Man. It isn't.
That is terrible because
That is the way football is, mate. And you got to wise up a little bit here. You're being very naive.
No, I'm not because there's still the anomalies that keep it going, keep it together. And so
Kosovo nearly caused an upset, though, didn't they?
Well, yeah, and the thing is, it's like Iceland used to be rubbish. Like there are countries that you have generations that have become good.
Iceland are always going to be rubbish, though, aren't they? They might have their little day in the sun, but how important are those stories of of those days? Like we went to. Not important.
We went to Austria, Iceland. I know what you're doing here.
I remember that.
And mate, I remember you were like, "This is amazing."
Was I?
Yes.
It must have been all that 0.5% alcoholic beer.
Yeah. I was hammered.
Maybe I was just doing it for the camera. No, you're talking about the atmosphere beforehand. Yeah, that was amazing. It was so much better than I thought it was going to be.
And so, all of this stuff now. So that's necessary if you want those things. That's the thing as well. Everyone's so focused with these top teams, you are forgetting all the Iceland, Wales, those teams that like captured our imagination when you get to a Euros or the World Cup. It's those guys that are interesting that you enjoy seeing them do something in sport. So the qualifiers are important for those nations, even though it's too easy for England. It's just something that needs to be done. Annoys me.
Don't care.
That said, I just want to have a quick dig at Martin Samuel. Because the other thing is everyone. So I never got to the cutting edge thing. The one thing I would say about the stadium is with the prices of it, and also
how much was it?
I got it from Cheeky Joel sorted me out.
Did he?
Yeah. What a guy. Thank you.
How come you still got to maintain all these connections with people?
Because I'm a nice person. I talk to people.
And no one ever contacts me. Like Cheeky Joel, as I haven't said, I had a peep from him.
That guy. Every so often he'll just give me a voice note and go, "Don't think I can't see you. Don't think I see what you're doing. You're hustling. You're working. Keep doing it." What a guy.
Why are you seeing me?
Jed, did you ever get them? No.
What? I should get them.
Well, you're the enemy there as well, aren't you?
What?
He's Arsenal, you're Spurs. It's probably that. Probably something deep-rooted like that.
Dave's doing well, isn't he?
Is he? I don't know.
That's his name.
David, yeah, you're right. Aorca.
Yeah, he's doing right.
He's
interviewing top boxers.
Like KSI, yeah.
Okay, so what do you think about that, KSI Logan Paul? Surely that should be the title of this fucking podcast.
Could help.
The problem is people they click on it and then go. Oh.
Well, I've done the process with Vidal Riley, who is his trainer.
Yes, I know.
So that'll be coming out soon. It was interesting. It is. I mean, they are. There's different kinds. You'll know this. There are different kinds of professional, isn't there? So they've gone professional for this fight.
Are you could turn professional? Anyone can turn professional.
I think I could.
Yeah, but my point is that it's not an achievement to turn pro. Anyone can.
It's not just like taking your head guard off. It's just being willing to take your head guard off.
And having 10-ounce gloves and making weight.
Right.
If you can do those things, regardless of your talent, you can turn pro. So that
really?
It's not like there isn't a level of quality. Anyone can turn pro. So that's doesn't matter.
Do you know, I think the other thing as well, thinking of from KSI and Logan Paul in terms of a YouTube sense, is like how do you move it forward? How do you make it more severe, more intense, more exciting? And it is the possibility of someone getting knocked out,
getting hurt, and it is there because they're both. I mean, they can both obviously batter me, but in professional boxing standard, if your defense isn't there, you can get tagged by a punch and be hurt by anybody, and both of them know how to throw a punch. I had a dream about it last night, and I dreamt that. It's weird. You've been thinking about
You're dreaming about Logan Paul and KSI sweating.
No, I was dreaming about how this bill has been set up. So Matchroom have taken over, Eddie Hearn's taken over, and he's pushing it. Which I can understand why Logan Paul and KSI do this, because this guy has the connections that will make this happen.
Yeah.
If they're both talking to each other's teams, it's never going to happen. Where would it go? How do they agree on anything? They're arguing. They don't like each other anyway. So you need someone in the middle who fixes things, and that's Eddie Hearn. But Eddie Hearn is putting this on a pro boxing bill now. So they're headlining, two amateurs essentially, are headlining a bill that has a world championship boxers, Billy Joe Saunders being one. And then at the end of it, there's this exhibition fight, which is really, really odd, because the people are watching that not because they love boxing, they're watching it because they love KSI and Logan Paul.
Yeah.
But inside this arena, in the Staples Arena, they're going to have boxing fans or kids mixed together watching. The kids are going to hate the boxing, because boxing, unless you're into the sweet science, if you're into the technical aspects of boxing, it can be quite dull at times. There's some fights that are boring as hell.
And also, I guess you got that enjoyment of different characters. You got to do the research of those characters because they're not big YouTube.
Yeah. So Billy Joe Saunders has a massive travellers audience. So lots of Irish travellers come to watch him fight. You can have Irish travellers with
12-year-olds
who love YouTube. It's a weird mix. And then at the end of it, you've got this like weird exhibition fight. So the boxing fans are not going to appreciate that. I don't know how the commentators are going to call it, because if they're being as boxing commentators, they're going to go, "Well, that's a terrible defence."
But do you know what it'll be like? And I watched a bit of it last night. It'll be like MasterChef Celebrity Edition, because they're just what's his name? There's the bald bloke and the other bloke. Can't remember the names. Anyway, when they plonk the food down, it looks terrible. There's no way that's of a level.
Yeah.
And they go, "Oh, your mash is good. Oh, how old's that? Put a bit of butter in it and mash it. You're fine." So I think they'll just pander.
They'll have to dumb it down.
Yeah, they'll pander to it. Which is polite and.
But it's weird.
Probably
it's a weird,
for the best.
It's a weird thing, because they're boxing commentators.
They've got a choice to make in terms of.
It's so.
There's going to be. I think what they'll probably. If you're smart, if you look at your career, you go, I'm gonna maybe be a bit harsh here, so that I keep all these boxing fans that are still going to be here once the dust settles.
Yeah.
And I haven't lost my integrity there. That's what
they'll have to caveat every positive thing they say.
That's
a good hook for a novice.
For a YouTuber. Yep.
Yeah. And there's talk about KSI going pro. He would have a horrible pro experience. So he would get beat convincingly by journeyman.
Right.
There's a guy called I think his name is Greaves. Right, his surname's Greaves. I can't remember his first name. He had 100 fights. He lost 96 and won 4. His job is to come in last minute and fight prospects. Right. That was his job. So he's there to get
like that wrestler who like doesn't really have a proper name or intro. Yeah, but always sort of fights in the middle of the show.
Yeah, his job is exactly. So his job is essentially to fill in where people pull out. There's a lot of injuries in boxing. So his record is 96 with 96 losses, but he's in against people that are fresh, have a lot of money behind them, and he's there to pad a career out. Right? Mm-hmm. He would batter KSI and Logan Paul. He could probably fight both of them in a night and beat them. Do you know what I mean? The idea of KSI becoming a pro boxer is ludicrous because he's had no pedigree. He's had no amateur background. Lomachenko, right, is probably the best pound-for-pound boxer in the world. Mm. He had, I think, 300 or 400, I don't remember, amateur bouts. He lost 1. And that's why he's the best in the world. You can't just go from not fighting and then to the pro game.
Yeah. Vidal, he speaks about that idea of him properly being pro and how KSI thinks.
What does he say?
Well, I watched that video.
Just tell me, come on.
He basically says that he gets not carried away, but I think whereas other people go, right, I've done this, okay, I want to go here, he gets excited by that and he goes, poof.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think with KSI is that he carries on. Like the music and this as well. He could have left it. He could have left both of them quite easily.
Yeah, no, he carries. Yeah.
Which I think is
the problem is, it is impressive.
Because there is scrutiny. There's huge scrutiny.
Yeah, and plus it's impressive in music because it is shit, his music, but he carries on and puts money behind it. It is shit, come on. And then, but the problem with boxing is it exposes people in not like no other sport. UFC, boxing, you are exposed if you're not at the level. And the dangerous thing is that if he does go into this, and like I say, anyone can turn pro, so there's no governance anywhere. As long as you're fit to fight, you can. He could and probably will get hurt.
Well, he said that he wants to call people out if he wins this next one.
Well, if he fights YouTubers, it's fine.
Yeah.
You can always, that should be his level.
But that's the same with any boxer, isn't it? You need to understand your level and pick opponents accordingly.
Yeah, right? But he talks about, but there is no, like the lowest level would beat him convincingly. Unless he fights someone with no...
I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't know. You know what I mean.
I'm guaranteeing it. If he fights anyone who's had any kind of pedigree in the ring or any kind of experience in boxing, he will get beat. And the risk is, especially with 10-ounce gloves with no head guard against someone who knows how to throw a punch, it will end up getting hurt. And how badly hurt, you don't know. One punch can screw you up completely. So that's what it is. There is no. It's all risk and no reward of him becoming a pro boxer. If he goes out. And if he goes out and fights other YouTubers, that's fine. I understand it. It's fascinating as a gimmick and a showpiece, an exhibition. It's fascinating what he's created there. The interest is incredible. 1.1 million pay-per-view buys. That's more than most.
Saying it.
Yeah. So I appreciate it. It's just that someone around him needs to say. Vidal probably needs to say to him, "You need to be really careful here because boxing isn't a game."
Yeah, and that's why the atmosphere is not great at Wembley. The one thing I wanted to say about that.
Sorry, can I just tell you about my dream?
God, I love this. This is amazing.
I dreamt that all the fans stayed for all the proper boxers, and then as soon as KSI,
I just walked.
The place was empty. Wow. That was my dream, and I felt really bad and stayed and watched.
You were there, mate. Bless you. That's so sweet.
Come on, guys.
Just enjoy it.
It's fun.
So let me get these two things out. The one thing I was thinking, there's a space here for especially home games at Wembley. You have a really cheap. Don't worry, I'm watching. You have a cheap. You have a clear section. You need like the upper loft. You need that like home end.
What's the upper loft?
QPR.
Don't talk about QPR sounding like people are going to know what you're talking about.
Do you know what this horrible? A couple of times the Premier League job, they've like the sound man or different people. They go, "Oh, who do you support?" And I go, "So pretend you're me. Say QPR. I'll go to you. Who do you support, James?"
I'll speak QPR. What are they searching for?
They have no idea what it. They don't know what it is. They don't know what it is.
What do you mean?
They don't know what QPR are.
They're not football fans.
Not all of them, I guess.
No, so look at you like what?
But soon. Warburton.
Is he doing alright? Where are you in the league?
We're 8th.
Are you?
Above the bees.
See what? Look, why aren't you giving Adam any shit?
Because we haven't done a podcast in ages.
But he's not going to watch this, so I'm saying get him on.
All right, I see what you mean. Well, he did it. He did it. That was brilliant. We had Wigan at home. They were playing. I can't remember who they were playing. Birmingham maybe. And he was at the away end and he took a picture like saying, all us Brentford fans laughing at QPR because we went 1-0 down after about 4 minutes.
Yeah.
The end of the game, we won 3-1, they lost 1-0. So I just said screenshots of the table, of the fixtures, of everything. So just you've got to be careful with that. Although you're always like, you like to go early, don't you?
Of course you have. But Warburton, he's alright, isn't he?
Mate.
He's always been alright. Where he's gone, he's been alright.
And I always go back to what Harry Redknapp said.
They're going to back him.
It is about players. Like I was watching this I was reading this thing 442 about Harry Redknapp and he was talking about it. Like you can say what you want, you can coach him what you want, you can get him up for it or whatever that is. It's about players.
Of course it is.
Who's got the best players? Who's got the most of the best players?
Yeah, Man City.
And we've got like his recruitment, his ability to bring in decent players, and Ramsey and there's Ferdinand as well. They've brought interesting players on loan who are like proper good footballers. The football they're playing is amazing.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm. So it's a dangerous moment at the international break, isn't it? Because I think you're probably in a different space, whereas I'm like I'm like a couple more wins. I'm like, what is going on here? but at the moment, I'm trying to keep calm.
Yeah, I get it.
We got Luton at home actually the weekend, and
are we good?
Are we decent here? Because I was like, we've brought in I want to say 15 players. And got rid of 12, something like that.
Nice big shift of.
But you spin that two ways, don't you? You go Fulham, you go, they've made too many changes. Or if it works, then it works.
Well, but the core of your players last time
were crap.
They were in a negative spiral, weren't they? And they that mindset had to be eradicated.
Yeah.
And either you can do that by motivation, or you just gut out the core.
Yeah, which they did, but they've also used the loan market really well. Like Amos, we've got.
How is he doing, Luke Amos?
He got injured, so he's missed 2 games.
He's so
before
injured.
That, he's not what I expected. He's a centre midfielder from Spurs who got cruciate knee ligament. Was it last year? And he started the first game. Apparently, he was amazing. We beat Stoke away, and then at home he's quite hectic. He's kind of everywhere. But he's we've got a load of those kind of players. We've got some proper ballers. Like it's like we're playing like a good Brentford. I would say it's that stuff.
Good stuff.
Anyway, I would just like to say this. I think there's an opportunity with England, right? To just let me get it out. Then there's an opportunity with England to have that home end, that section, that's maybe even safe standing.
Yeah.
Make it really cheap because there's a whole class of people missing at these England games.
Yeah.
And you can there's an opportunity with those qualifiers to get those people in and get them invested in it at that stage, even if it's easier.
There's opportunity there, isn't there, to create an atmosphere. But do you know what? I reckon the powers that be don't really care. They don't care if there's an atmosphere or not. Because
they know they're going to sell the tickets abroad.
That's all they care about.
But that's why people are going, this is rubbish, is because they don't really want to buy into it. As the other problem is, we're doing really well. We're really good. So this is the headline I just want to say quickly. Martin Samuel. He goes, defend like this against a good team. How patronising is that? Against one of the contenders for the European Championships next summer, and England have no chance. Not, full stop, a full stop, prayer, full stop.
So
we're 5-1 up at half time. We won 4-0 the game before that.
And
the 2 before that were both 5-0. Like, what are we doing here? This is there's a difference. Yes, the group is easy. The group's easy because we keep winning qualifying games. Well, everyone just calm down.
Look, again, it's not easy to win any game of football 5-0, 5-0, 5-0, 5-1, 4-0 and 5-3.
It's decent, isn't it?
It's a really difficult thing to score that many goals in 4 games.
But the picking of holes in that was they were rubbish mistakes from Michael Keane and Harry Maguire, which are errors that can happen.
Yeah.
And do you know what the other thing with the atmosphere? I remember thinking that there's so much spotlight, everyone's looking, everyone's going to make comment and judgment on it, but the atmosphere is so kind of, what's the word? It's placid. I could imagine that as much as you want to be up for it,
it's hard.
I can imagine it's really hard.
Yeah, it's Martin Samuel, but you've got to understand what Martin Samuel is and what his job is.
Slug.
Yes, but he's there to be contrary. He's there to be that other voice. When everyone's feeling good about something, his job is to make people feel the other way so they react. So they click on his articles. Adrian Durham is another one, right? He doesn't... I can't believe that he believes everything he's saying, but he knows what his role is and what his job is.
I get it.
And that's what it is, so don't get wound up about it. Just look at it and move on, Jim. Because I tell you what, there are bigger things in this world to worry about than that fat bastard.
Should we go through the list then?
What do you mean? Have we been doing the list?
No, sort of.
Go on then.
So we'll come back to football. But here's a new bit. I was thinking maybe we could give it a go. Okay. Right. Let us know in the comments below. It's called "It's Not Right, but It's Okay." Okay. So I think there's a lot of things that I've had these moments, and it's one of those where I had it at that moment in time, and I remember thinking, "Oh, this would be good," and then I forgot to remember it later down the line, and I can't remember it now. But there are lots of things that you do that they're probably not right.
It's okay.
It's okay, and I think this could be a safe space for people to let us know their ones and for us to laugh at.
So this is this is things you like, but it's not okay.
Yes,
it's like still listening to R.
ketchup
Kelly.
on beans and yeah.
Still listening to R. Kelly. What I don't get, and I won't go down. So I'm conscious of your other job, right?
Yes.
But
we're okay.
But why do people give Michael Jackson a bye, but R. Kelly gets thrown under a bus?
People still don't believe the Michael Jackson thing.
They choose not to believe.
Do you know what? There's songs now. I loved Michael Jackson, right? I loved the Jackson 5 so much. Do I put in my head, because I'm trying to give him a bye, I said to myself, I went, I'm going to listen to the Jackson 5 and Off the Wall, and then that's it. Because that's before he was doing anything naughty.
Yeah.
But then there's a track on Off the Wall called, it goes, I can't help it, if I wanted to, I can't help it, even if I could, I can't help. I'm like, yeah.
Can I say something that's a bit controversial?
Go on then.
He's not that good. He's well overrated.
Wow.
It's like, you listen to it, it's like, all right. Like, fucking, really?
I do remember thinking, he gets away with a lot of... There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
A lot of that.
There's a lot of filler in his songs.
What's the one?
Can I tell you another?
Stranger in Moscow.
Calm Take.
That's one. There's a lot of like.
Can I say that?
Sorry, go on.
Like a Calm Take, right? Can I say that? Probably. If not, apologies.
Apologies.
What's that there? That there on your wall?
Stevie Wonder. For Once in My Life. It's the first song that me and Fam danced to.
But
it's our first.
But it's not because you really like Stevie Wonder.
I do. I love Stevie Wonder.
Right.
Don't. Let's move on. No, don't, because we can't. I will kick you out of this flat.
Can I just say?
Seriously.
Do you know what I'm going
to say? I know. I'm guessing. I think I know what you want to say. Don't you?
Can I just say it? And then you don't have to. You can take it or leave it.
This could be a bit. You can say something. I don't get it. I don't think he's that good.
Right.
Because I've got one as well.
It's not just. I don't think he's that good. I think that. If he wasn't blind, he wouldn't be as successful as he is. You're
being ignorant. You need to really look into this guy. And this guy is an absolute... He's incredible.
What's really good about him is he's taken a disadvantage and turned it into a positive.
Right.
But yes. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
You can't judge his entire discography on Happy Birthday, which was for Nelson Mandela.
I can do that.
Well, you mustn't. I'm going to give you... I'll send you links to albums.
Just a bit gimmicky for me.
That's one song that's gimmicky.
No, using the blindness as an ace card.
You're saying he's using the blindness as a gimmick?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's essentially... He's got a mediocre voice and he plays the piano quite well. Or the keyboards quite well.
He plays every instrument, just to be clear.
No, he doesn't.
His voice, I've seen him live 3 times. He plays for 2 hours because he can't do an encore because he's got to get him off and bring him back on. It's too much of a slog. Logistically, it's a nightmare. So he stays on for 2.5 hours and it's hit after hit after hit. I'm going to take you to a Stevie Wonder concert. Fuck's that?
What is that?
Don't know.
What, you don't know what that noise is in your own flat?
It's not in my flat. Yeah, it's gone. So, speaking of which, So this is something slightly
just
different.
for the record, I don't actually believe that Stevie Wonder stuff. I just like saying it's a Stevie Wonder fan.
Okay, that is good. Thank
All
God.
of them.
Can I just say, I had an argument with the missus. I've actually changed my mind on this a little bit because I've seen a documentary on it. But generally, Lady Gaga, I don't get it.
No, I don't get it.
Don't really get it. She's not that good a singer. But actually, after the film,
that isn't music. That's marketing. Like all that.
Initially, actually, that's when I didn't get it. But since then, I think she's got a lot better.
Lady Gaga, Mariah Carey, Beyonce, Taylor Swift. That's not music. That's not talent. That's not talent. It's marketing.
Right.
As a Mortal Technique says, you're not a better rapper than me. You just got a better marketing team.
Fair enough. So, hang on. So, it's not right, but it's okay. Let us know yours in the comments below. I've got a few here. Some I know that they're clearly not things that should be said, and so I'm not even going to say them. But there are a few that I thought were interesting. Hooligans.
What are you talking about?
So, words that you shouldn't be using.
So
we're living in a time, it's moving fast, it's moving forward very quick, and there's things that you thought you used to be able to say.
My nan, if she wasn't like crippled with dementia, would still call black people coloured. Like that. There are phrases that are now offensive or just past times.
Yes.
Gotcha,
exactly. So on the theme of it's not right, but it's okay.
Yeah.
There's a few. I found this article. So it said the word hooligans derives from a family of cartoon characters of the same name. In the 19th century, the hooligans were a family of Irish immigrants struggling to fit in London. Not only were the cartoons racist, but they also depicted a harsh stereotype of urban immigrants as uncultured buffoons who would never fit in. So,
but most hooligans are white, working class.
They're not Irish, and it's a racist term is the point.
Right.
Generally, we shouldn't be using the word hooligan anymore. That's what it's saying.
That's bollocks. It's bollocks. The definition of the name, when someone thinks of hooligan, they don't think of Irish travellers. They think of football folks. The terminology of a word changes through time.
Is that allowed? Is that true?
Of course it's true. When you think of hooligans, you didn't think that before reading it.
No.
So therefore it's true.
But the point is, if the root of it is racist, should we not be using it?
It's about knowledge. It's about perception. If the 99.9% of society doesn't know that that's a fact, it might not be a fact just because someone wrote it down, but probably is.
Right, from Best Life.
Right. That's... Do you know what I mean? It's about perception.
Okay.
And context.
Well, then that's probably going to ruin the rest of this list. But
that's fine.
We'll press on.
It's interesting.
Cannibal. Shouldn't be saying that. Stop saying that, Flav. Most people probably don't think of the Caribbean when they think of cannibalism.
No, they don't.
But the term derives from the tribe Cannibales,
Did they eat each
or the Caribs in the West Indies. Allegedly, this ancient tribe was known for eating each other. For more words, way better left unsaid.
What's wrong with saying that then? What's wrong with saying it? Calling someone a cannibal?
That's good. I don't know.
Do they not explain why it shouldn't be said?
No, it doesn't actually.
So they're saying it because it's from
Well, initially at the start of it, it's saying that
it's racist.
These 20 things you're saying you didn't know were offensive. Right, so cannibal is supposedly mumbo jumbo. Did you say that?
Mumbo jumbo, not really, but what's racist about that?
Likely comes from the West African god Mama Jumbo. Why is it offensive? Apparently, Mandinka males would dress up like the god to solve domestic dispute and abuse their wives.
That's a lot of mumbo jumbo.
Do you think? But again, it comes back to your point: is when does it expire? When does the anger of that abuse stop? And the problem begin?
The problem is someone's wasted. Well, no, it's entertaining, I guess.
This is mad.
Put your time to better use.
Me?
No.
All right.
The writers, people who get upset about language.
And moron, which I feel like we've both used at some point.
All the time.
Yeah.
I've still got people morons.
Wasn't originally an insult, but a psychological diagnosis denoting a mild disability.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, it's
stupidity.
Like there are other words that become, but morons it's not aimed at anybody, is it? It's aimed at stupid behaviour rather than a group of people.
Okay. Didn't feel like that landed, if I'm honest. Here's another bit that could work. Platonic fantasies.
I saw the list and you sent it over to me, but I was like, I don't know what this means, Jim.
So, I was watching this interview, Alec Baldwin, who I am in love with a little bit.
How have you got to that stage?
He's just brilliant.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he a good guy?
He's just a great storyteller.
Is he?
Like whenever he says, I used to work with this director called Flav Bateman, great guy, great beard, incredible beard. And he used to he did this little bit of colour on these people and then go into the story. He's just awesome. I just love Alec Baldwin. Anyway, he was a great
orator.
He's a great orator, and he was talking about this. He was at this dinner party or something. Someone asked him, "What's your ultimate fantasy?" And he answered it in a non-sexual way. Like, I think generally people go,
of course.
Well,
well,
you'd say
threesome.
Lovely weekend, Flav. And what I did was the missus and Craig, my mate, back at uni, we used to play Pro Evo 6, and we were trying to win the World Cup together, right? Never did it, never completed it, and the years have obviously rolled on. We've never done it. But my missus and his missus, they were on a hen do together, so we knew we had the whole weekend to try and crack it. And so I got there on Friday, and we went to the England game as well. I had a night out as well, which was decent. But yeah, we spent 2 days. Didn't do it.
Didn't get it?
Didn't get there. We actually went on this whole adventure of one of the remotes on the Friday. On the Friday night, we couldn't attach it, and so we left it. I went to sleep. Woke up in the morning. Craig had stayed up researching it to try and find a way to get it to work on the telly.
Yeah.
Worked up in the morning. It was like Christmas Day when it started working. Then the control wouldn't work. He then found one at one of those CEX, is it one of those shops? We went all the way to Shepherd's Bush to go pick it up, go back, then play through it, and then play the whole next day. Didn't complete it, but it was.
Did you get close?
So yeah, we got to the semi-final.
It's the nostalgia, isn't it? It's a throwback to a simpler time. A simpler time,
a simpler game. Through balls for days. It was beautiful, and like the team. Like, who's it? Like Owen's 26. You know what I mean? Like they're all so young. Beckham's 31.
Did it on the game? Did it give their fitness level where the arrow is? And if it's red up,
they're flying.
He's on fire.
Exactly. It was gutting though, because you put in, it's a 2-hour job. This is a 2-hour job. You got to get through the group stage, and you got to make your way through it, and then you've got to focus. And there's little bits where you'll start chatting for a bit, and then you'll like nearly concede, and you go, all right, no more talking now. Let's carry on. So you don't talk for a bit. And all these little like phrases that we were using 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Like when Paul Robinson was goalie. And he would save us. You go, oh, Robbo. We used to say, oh, Robbo 10 years ago. But like the whole weekend was just like, it was brilliant.
Yeah.
And that was like, it triggered it in my mind. Like as a fantasy, like if someone said, what's your ultimate fantasy? It was like being given a week to complete on the PS2.
That's nice.
A Pro Evo 6.
Do you remember when we used to work at Ball Street? We had to do FIFA content. And I hated it.
Didn't have to. I forced it upon us because I thought, oh, this will bring in the views.
Yeah. So I used to didn't like it. Right. I just did it because you wanted me to.
But recurring theme. To be honest about that.
But I've recorded my own FIFA series since.
When you said this to me, I went, Flav, really?
No, but it's behind the paywall, the Patreon paywall.
Does that make it okay? Does it?
Well, yeah, because the world doesn't see how cringy it is.
Right.
For me to be playing after everything I've said doesn't make sense. But I started playing co-ops on FIFA online with my mate John Bass.
Oh, right? Bassy.
Yeah, do you know him?
Don't know.
No, you like
probably
him?
Know his face.
Big giant guy with alternative right views sometimes.
Was he on that? Was he on the night out we had? The Champions League night out.
Yeah.
Was he there right at the end?
Champions League night.
When it was
Madrid. No. I didn't know him. Anyway, he had we found out that we were really quite good at playing co-ops, like both on the same team, and we came up with this. We realised if we go on during like early in the morning, like 10. This is back when he didn't have a job. He ended up playing kids at that time.
Brilliant.
And we like smashed them to bits.
Wicked.
And we come up with this strand called Yids versus Kids. And that's
hang on, let me just check. See that's not on the list.
Well, I've sent off for my ancestry DNA.
Have you?
Yeah.
So, is that a brand deal?
What?
That's that. But a lot of people do that as a brand deal with like.
I know.
Ancestry thing.
Yeah. No,
Cancel it.
My mum got it for my birthday.
Oh.
And
what are you expecting?
I'm expecting to have some Jewish blood in me.
Are you hoping for that too?
No. My great grandmother was Jewish, So
be it then.
That's what I'm expecting. So if there's enough, then I might be able to use that word, the Y word.
Yeah.
Without
well, you can go.
Without fear.
Excuse me. Are you? Can I see your certificate? You've got yours ready to go. So yeah, let us know your asexual fantasies.
Yeah,
and we can discuss.
Mine are more or less achieved, but my fantasy always was to live in a country on a house, secluded on its own, away from everybody.
And you've done that, have you?
But the only thing it's missing is a stream through the
Well, like
the
what's
garden.
it? Was it a moat?
Not a moat around it. To keep everybody out.
Yeah.
Well, more or less got it. I live in a detached house, but it has another group of people next door.
Another bit that I want to set up for next week. So another thing I was reading was about.
We'll have the comments as well next week. It's gonna be easy.
Thank God. Atletico Mints. Have you heard that podcast?
Yeah, with
Mortimer.
That's right.
He. I've tried to listen to it once, and I was just really struggling with it. But I read this article about him getting in 4-4-2, and they were saying that it's so loosely based on football. You just have these kind of characters, and it's a bit like, I've got a series on my channel called Great Stories.
Yes.
Where I write a few things, you write a few things, we swap bits of paper, and then we tell a story. So I got one with Stephen Tries, which will be out soonish, and I was thinking we could have a whole season long story that we do a chapter every week, and it's from the comments. So you write down, it can be anything, phrase, a quote, it can be absolutely anything.
Right.
And then for 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, we'll do a chapter of the story.
Okay.
And we've got to get to the 1 or 2 words that we have each.
Right.
You may understand that, you may not understand that. If you don't understand it, go on YouTube, search Great Stories, and you'll see the format of that.
Is it a common format?
No, it's
just yours. All right, okay, well, I'll watch it.
So do that, and then in the comments, basically people will write different random things, and I'll have to start this football story, and we can tell a story throughout the entire season.
Right, all right, let's do it.
Stick with me. It's one of those ones that you'll have to stick with me on that one. So what are you going to offer to this new podcast that we're doing?
Look, whenever someone says to me they're going on holiday, my first question always is, are you going to go in the water?
Can I come?
Yeah, can I come? Like, so my mate of mine went to Lanzarote, and I'm like, you're not going to go swimming, are you? And he said, yeah, probably. Why? Because of the sharks. There's sharks in the ocean. They're everywhere.
Are they everywhere, though?
They're in every body of water.
Right.
Everywhere. Not all of them can kill you in those. So,
I was right on the tip, the north of Colombia recently. I had a quick look, and it was a bit.
A quick look of whether there's been shark attacks.
No, not of the sharks. Like, where can you swim in the sea or not?
Yeah.
And it was saying that further, like probably about a couple of hours down the road, there are sharks. But where I was, it's fine.
Right. So that's fine. Don't tell me that convinced you.
Yeah, I love being in the sea.
Right. I that's fine, and you can love it, and good for you.
Thank you.
But a rational person like me goes into water and think 2 hours, that ain't that far, and they swim across oceans. Great whites.
Right.
There are great white sharks. Yeah, they emigrate or migrate from.
No, sure which one it is.
Yeah, no, it's migrate from.
There's nothing better than a Flav blink, like a Flav doubtful blink.
Yeah, I can do that all the time. From the east coast of the United States, California, over to the Mediterranean.
Really?
Yeah.
They go underneath. Imagine that.
Because
no one knows where the bottom of the ocean is, do they?
Yeah, they do. The Mariana Trench. It's the deepest part of the sea.
But isn't there something like... I swear I've read somewhere that they don't know...
They don't know that they haven't searched it all, so they don't know. But they know the deepest point that we understand is the Mariana Trench. You know what that is?
No.
It's just terrifying. Yes, it's essentially a crack in the earth, in the sea. I want to say it's around Japan, south of Japan, around that area of body of water. I might be wrong. And it's a
trench.
Mariana Trench. It's a crack in the earth that goes down miles, a couple of miles.
Wow.
Read up about it. It's terrifying. Is it? Yes, there you go. It's not far from Japan. Yeah. So that's the deepest part of the ocean. And they don't know anything about it. There's been submarines that have gone down there.
But then the pressure gets too much, and there's only so far you can go.
I think they have reached the bottom. I think they have.
That's amazing.
I think James Cameron did a expedition.
Titanic.
Yeah. Where he was that. I think I might be getting mixed up.
You're thinking Titanic.
No, I think he actually.
Imagine you were that stupid.
No,
sorry, I'm thinking Titanic.
no, he did.
It's the most expensive expedition ever. No, it's the most expensive film ever.
No. He did a piece to go and find the Titanic, and I'm mixing up my documentaries.
Right.
But yeah. So basically, the biggest great white ever was caught off of Malta. Malta's not far from us. It's 23 feet.
Mm.
So my what I'm bringing to the podcast this week
yes
is just shark news.
Yeah.
And there was a fisherman in
because this is something people won't know, but the lads at Bull Street will know. Like sometimes Flav would just be on his phone, and I'll be like, "What are you doing?" And he'd just be looking at a video of a shark. It's always a shark.
How are you not fascinated by eating machines that live in the sea? How they're real life monsters. Like, and I want them protected. I don't want another shark to ever be killed, and we kill fucking hundreds of thousands a year.
Yeah.
But
do you see a lot of yourself in a shark?
If I was a shark, I would be.
But do you, on a mental level, do you feel like you have a kinship with the?
No, because they're imbeciles.
Yeah. Are they? Well, that's good to know. So
their brain is about the size of a walnut.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So
as they're coming in, you just go, look over there.
Well, you can do stuff like punch them on the snout. And
that's the obvious one that people do, isn't it?
They've got lots of. I can't remember. They're highly sensitive. Their nose, their snout is, and their eyes are quite vulnerable. Their eyes.
Interesting. Vulnerable.
Yeah.
And where are their eyes on the side?
Yeah, like that. They're all but great white when it attacks, you'll see its eye roll back. It rolls into the back of its head, and you see the whites of their eyes. It isn't the white of their eyes; it's cartilage, and that protects their eyes when they're attacking you.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. Like eyelashes in a way.
Nothing like that. It's like
in terms of protection.
Imagine if you had bone behind your eyes.
Yeah.
And every time you went in to bite something, your eyes rolled back and bone appeared.
That's incredible.
That's what it is.
I mean, this is more shark facts. But what's the shark news then?
There was a fisherman that was nearly eaten, but he managed to fend off a great white with his spear gun. Spearfishing is most likely to be attacked when you're spearfishing, by the way, because when you shoot the fish, it lets off a pulse that sharks pick up on, and then they come and then attack the diver because they think it's feeding time. But this guy managed to. It was Joe from Australia fended off a great white shark. a great white shark with his spear gun. He shot it in the head. So good on you, Joe. You shouldn't have been in the ocean. It's their fucking domain. You're killing fish. A bigger fish comes along to sort it out. You should be in.
I like the fact that you almost there's a karma around the spearfishing. That's almost come back round and hurt you yourself.
Yeah, but he won that one. But maybe not next time. And there is a video I've put on my Twitter, Flav_Baden, and it was of a shark. It's a top-down drone footage. It's of a shark attacking and eating a seal. And
I saw that.
And my caption was, "This is what happened when you go in the sea. Get out the sea."
Yeah.
Does that work?
Do you know what we should do?
What?
We should go on holiday together. Go in the sea.
I thought we were going to Bogdan Regis.
Together. Go in the sea.
I go in the sea. I was snorkeling in Benidorm. I went on holiday in Benidorm.
Gammon.
That was pretty gammon, yeah. But it was cheap, and there's a good reason why it's cheap.
Is it?
Yeah. I must not speak. If I speak, I'll get in trouble.
Got you. It was your birthday recently. Many happy returns. Thoughts on birthdays now?
No thoughts on that.
You enjoy it? Was it special? I reached out, didn't I? Good friend.
You did.
Reached out. I went, happy birthday, mate, and you told me to fuck off.
It was 2:00 in the afternoon, Jim. You've been reminded by someone.
That is not.
It is true. It is true.
When's my birthday?
I don't know, mate. Yeah.
Do you remember do you know what happened on my birthday this year?
No.
No one said happy birthday. No one.
So?
I didn't tell you to fuck off. I got on with it. You went, too late. You didn't. No.
No, I'd have preferred it if you hadn't mentioned it. The fact is, shit's first birthday. Like, I better say something.
Do you know what I did as well? I put it in the group with the lads, as a kind gesture, because I could have gone straight to you and gone, mate, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Love you very much. But I went, no, I'm going to pop it in this group to give the rest of them a reminder to say something nice to you.
Respect them because they didn't say anything.
They didn't. They didn't say anything, did they?
No, they didn't say a word. You know what's become clear about them lot is that we were never friends. They were just people we used to work with.
Yeah.
Sad, isn't it? Depressing. But that's the fact.
That really does come into focus.
It's just the fact.
I haven't had a word from Sam. I haven't had a word from him.
Oh, so Sam's okay.
How am I getting on?
Sam occasionally sends me like some music to listen to, or something that digs me out.
Yes.
But I respect Sam for that, and I respect Craig the most because he always made it clear that we weren't friends. He was always adamant that he's got enough friends.
Yeah, he was quite transparent with that.
We just respect him.
But he is getting far too close with Chandler.
Adam Rosenbaum, he's the worst because he let you in. He let you in big time.
Yeah, he reaches out sometimes. We've got Brentford QPR sometimes that allows us to come back together and have a chat. I haven't got bad words.
I love that boy.
As I was looking for other stuff, I found another thing on our website that we may be using a lot in the James and Flav for Now podcast called Best Life. Because I know you're big on that.
Best life.
Yeah. Thoughts on that phrase?
It's just any of these phrases become tired, don't they? Because people overuse them.
See, that's what I find erotic is that this is called Best Life, and then there's an article saying that there's 100 things no man over 40 should ever say. Now you're getting pretty close to that, Flav, so I thought I'd just give you a little warning on a couple of things. 38.
Fucking hell, that's old, isn't it?
Do you know what I think? I think you hit. I think you hit 30 and it's like, you've hit 30 and it's quite a big birthday and people are quite excited about it. You do something because there's a 0, and then 31 onwards is just a slow descent, and it's just
what
you're just going. Oh,
how old are you, Jim?
33.
33. Honestly, it gets better.
Does it?
Yeah, it does. It does. The 30s have been so good. I'm
enjoying them, but there is part of me that's like, I don't get that, or like Pez, PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Craig said to me, he said, we bought this, him and his brother bought this in 2001.
Fuck.
That's 18 years ago.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's those things that you're like,
yeah, but
dates.
You've got to focus on now.
Yeah, I will.
No, everybody has to.
Right.
It's really important that you're present in this moment all the time. That you're not focusing on what's gone past or what's going to happen in the future too much. You have to plan for the future, but most of your where you are is right now. What's happening right now, and how can you make this moment as good as it can be? Because if you do that, the future will be better, and the present will be better.
And when you look back at the past,
it's better.
It'll be better.
Because it's all about your perception on everything. And look, I'm sitting here with you, one of my very best friends, and I'm enjoying this moment. That's what I'm doing. I'm not thinking about having to get the train and then drive and then walk the dog, right? I'm not thinking about that.
Yeah, you wait till week 3.
I'm just in this moment, and that's all I can be.
With that in mind, though, there's a couple of things that as a 30-year-old shouldn't be saying anymore. Amazeballs.
I know someone who does say amazeballs.
Who's that?
Windy, from Fighting Cock, and his own podcast now, The Extra Inch.
Oh.
So if you're a Spurs fan, listen to those. Yeah, he says it, but he's such a nice man, I won't pick him up on it.
That's amazing, isn't it? If you can get to a point where you can say anything, and but he's so nice.
Yeah, it's because he's nice that he doesn't say the things that would be horrible to.
Right, so you can allow.
It's like come out mad racisms.
You go like that. Just leave it. How much should we tip? Once you're over 40, you cannot be asking that question. You should know what you've got to tip. You should know in your heart what you want to tip, and you should just go and do it.
Yeah.
Thoughts on tipping?
I tip accordingly. 10% generally. I don't like it sometimes when they say 12.5% gratuity. When did they start upping the gratuity?
I think it's actually always been 12.5%.
No, it hasn't, because no one sat down and went, right, 12.5% seems right. Someone went, 10%, that sounds right. That's how they got to it. No one went, 12.5.
Yeah. That's cheeky, actually.
If the industry sets the gratuity, it's wrong. It should be onus should be on me to pay. This should never add a tip to a bill. It's out of order. I would have
that winds me up. That does wind me up.
Like optional gratuity, but it ain't optional. You've put it on.
Well, that's happened to me though. I've been at a bar where I've bought 2 drinks at the bar. You know, you normally give you money, or a card, or whatever, and you take them and you go. It was a little bit fancier, so I was getting. I got 2 cocktails, one for me, one for the wife. I have a Negroni, and I got it, and he gave me this on this tray. Gave me the receipt. There's a tip on it.
What, for him pouring a drink?
There's a tip on him pouring a drink.
That's ridiculous.
So I went.
This is where? Where is this?
This is in a place in Victoria. I can't remember the name of it.
It's in England.
Yeah.
I thought it was in America.
No, so I said to him, I thought they was £6 each because I think it was like happy hour or something.
Yeah.
Because that's the only time I'll go out. I'll go specifically for that and get out because I'm thrifty. And no, I don't. And then I said, I thought they was £6 each. He went, yeah. That's there's the optional tip on top. And I went, well, can I take that off? And he went,
you poured a drink.
He kind of went, yeah, well, yeah, if you want to. And I went, well, yeah, right then.
Yeah, fuck that. And the thing is, in that instance, you're made out to be
the bad guy,
the bad guy, or the arsehole, cheapest chips kind of thing, geezer. They created that scenario.
Yeah,
they've created discomfort, and you're banking on people being too polite. The British way would be just to pay it.
Yeah,
but actually, you're fucking creating it. So now I'm going to make this awkward for you, and it's not even you. It's your manager. But you know what I mean?
But they probably, in the long run, it does make them all more money.
In terms of chivalry, you know, in terms of men paying for stuff, do you and your wife, do you kind of pay things equally, or do you feel like as a man you pay more?
I think there's like you looking to make the effort and go first. I do that, so I'll get it first round, love. And then she'll get the second one.
Sweet cheeks.
Yeah, baby. And then she'll get the second one. I'll just pray we don't have a third round. That's the aim. But yeah, no, we're dead equal.
Yeah, which is probably the most modern way, isn't it?
I think it's dependent on your salaries, though. I think that plays a factor.
Yeah, fair enough. If you have more money,
I've got a friend who's having a bit of trouble at the moment because they earn quite a lot, and the other person earns a good wage but less.
Yeah.
And that person kind of expects the other one to pick up the tab a lot. In the mind of the other person.
And have they had a conversation about it? That's a tricky one to bring up.
A little bit.
But see, with me and my missus, I pay for everything.
Yeah.
And I want to.
That's great.
I
don't want to.
But I don't know why. But some people would see that as like a male dominance thing. And like a...
right.
And like it's like an old archaic way, and it's degrading.
No, because I think there's times when a bit deep here now. I think sometimes the wife would like me to just take charge of things, but there's a balance because if you want it your way, you're gonna have to take control of it and make the decision. So that's a difficulty we have sometimes. So I can make this. So here's an example. I bought a recycling bin yesterday. Okay, and as I'm buying this recycling bin, I'm going, she's going to hate this. I know she's going to hate it. But then I think I could pick any recycling bin. She would have hated any of them.
Really?
Just because, or she would have been suspicious of it because she would probably go and buy a nicer one.
But you're thinking about the...
I'm just thinking, let's just get one. Let's just get one. And it was fine. It's fine. You can have a look at it after. But yeah, I don't know what my point is.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
my point is that if you want to take charge, that's it. It's more the balance of your relationship. If you want to take charge and they enjoy you taking charge, everyone's happy.
My missus is quite old-fashioned in her ways.
Right.
Like she likes me putting a jacket on her. She likes me opening doors for her.
Lovely.
But some women wouldn't.
I think all those things should still be done because that's.
She likes you buying her flowers.
See, that's annoying. I bought fam flowers sometimes, and she's just like annoyed because she's got to carry it around for the rest of the evening. Shouldn't be digging her out, really.
No.
She is wonderful.
She's lovely.
Do you know what? She went away for the hen do, and
but hang on,
I was aching.
Did you?
Oh mate, when she got back, I was like, thank you, because I watched the thing with Kathy Burke, who is a national treasure.
Yeah.
Have you watched it on Channel 4?
No, I
watched this thing, Kathy. She's brilliant. She's so funny and awesome. I love her. And she went to, because she's still single, hasn't had kids, So she's like looking at those different things and from an aspect of a woman, how women should feel now. She spoke to this woman about like the biology of love, and basically she said that you can die of a broken heart.
Yeah, I've heard
because of the endorphins that you get being around someone, and then once you lose those, and especially I guess if you're a bit older, that's going to take its toll on you a lot more. And we were like, I was watching Fam, we watched it, and then we kind of we just had a little look at each other and go, yeah. As soon as you die, I'm gonna die because I love you so much. No.
I kind of feel that way now. You know, to be honest, like I think with my missus, if she ever.
So morbid.
Yeah, forget this. It's horrible.
Yeah, let me run through this pithy list.
Can I just say one thing about this broken heart and about the connection and warmth and what you need from other people? And I had a chicken, right? I got like 16 chickens, and one of the chicks. She just had some chicks crack the other day in the eggs, and one of the chickens was rejected by the hen, a little tiny chick, and it was on its back. We picked the chicken up, brought it inside, got a hot water bottle,
oh my God,
and created a nest in this shoebox for it.
Wow!
Because you can't just leave it. You got to give it.
I know, but that's really cute.
Yeah, and what was really adorable about this chick is it would cheep, and then you put it in your hands, and it would rest its little head on your thumb like that, and it would stop cheeping because it was content and it needed to be held, and that's what it wanted.
Wow!
But we had to go out for a Wagamama, so we left it with the hot water bottle, and we came back, it was dead because it didn't have the connection. But the Wagamama was the bollocks.
Yeah, it was good.
So good, man.
Don't get me started on Wagamamas.
Did you like them?
No, I'm annoyed at Wagamamas.
What have they done?
Next week. We're going to go on for too long. But Wagamamas winds me up.
Why? Tell me one thing. We can finish the list.
The seating.
What, you don't like share benches?
No, I don't like sharing. Listen to yourself. Come on, darling, I'm taking you out. We're going to go share a bench. Anyway.
Well, it wouldn't be you taking her out anyway because you split the bill.
Yeah, true. Don't write on my menu. That's what I don't like. Just go.
Yeah, they do that. They do that.
What are you having? Can I have this? And I'll have this. Right, two things, is it? Right, hang on. I've forgotten. Let me write it on your menu.
Do you know what else it is? Do you know how it works here? We'll just fucking send the food when we want.
Yeah.
You're not gonna all eat together. Forget that. Forget all your ideas about what a good dining experience is. We're going to send the food when we fucking want, and you're going to like it.
Yeah, you're going to bloody like it. So, if you are going on a date with someone, Wagamamas might sound exotic to you. Don't do it.
Because one of you be eating, one of you won't.
One of you eating, one of you won't.
And you have to share a bench.
You'll be done in 20 minutes, and you'll have to share a bench.
Yeah, they want you in and out. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Finally, a couple of quick ones, then we'll finish up. Hook up. You can't say hook up anymore.
Why not?
Because you're too old.
Oh, let's hook up. Yeah, no, I wouldn't say hook up anyway.
This is interesting because I say this, or I did say this when I was a coach, just to kind of get an understanding. Does everyone understand this? Okay, does that make sense? You shouldn't be saying that anymore because that's once you get to 40, that's really patronising.
Because you're older and you know better.
Apparently.
So just expect everyone to understand what you're saying.
This is interesting. Let's come back to your thing. I'm a feminist.
What, men?
Real male feminists don't need to constantly tell people they're feminists.
Of course they don't.
It's just obvious because they, respect women and stuff.
So there's two things that I've said. The two things I said last year that I can't tell whether people have took me seriously or not. I said I don't see colour. Of course I fucking see colour. And I'm also a feminist. That's obviously I'm not a feminist.
You're not a feminist.
No, I just say these things because it's just funny to say.
I don't really know what a feminist is. I really like women and I try to be as kind to them as possible. That's it. I respect them.
I think there's a lot of labels on everything, and ultimately just try and be a good person to each other.
Thanks, Jerry.
Be good to each other.
Last one, literally. I just get to what you can't say literally. Okay?
Literally, I probably wouldn't say it anyway. I've literally said that this episode.
Yeah, literally.
Literally.
Brilliant. The reason I said all that as well is, so a very, very quick one is another bit. Words in football or anything that you would like to get rid of. So here's mine. I said it on the Great Touch Pod the other week. Aplomb needs to go now. I don't want it. You don't sound good, Chris Waddle, when you say aplomb. It doesn't sound right. And neither of you, Glenn Hoddle.
You don't say it, but he did play football with aplomb.
Both of them did, yeah.
They did.
But my point is
I know, it's
none of you lot would know that word, or you would ever use it in any other.
No one
sentence.
says this. It's not a common word, is it? It's just in football. It's used all the time.
Yeah, and I've had enough of it now.
I haven't got one, but I'll have a think.
Okay,
for next week.
That was decent, wasn't it? Yeah,
not bad. Not sure.
Good to see you again.
Let us know. Let us know in the comments. Do you want more football, less football? What do you want?
Do you know what? Can I just say, actually, and this is probably the right time to do it at the end of the podcast. For those of you that have like said a lot of like, where are you two? Where is all this stuff?
Get a life.
I was going to say apologies for the radio silence.
No, concentrate on more important things in this podcast.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
You agree with that sentiment?
Yeah.
So why are you about to say, sorry for not getting in touch?
But people,
have some fucking balls, man.
I've had a lot of like people saying that they miss us, which is a nice thing.
Yeah.
One thing I've is a little bit annoying. Don't dig out great touch. They go, this is rubbish in comparison. You don't need to do that.
Oh,
just
are you getting that in the comments?
I've got one or two of that. I could name him. I know his name. I know your name.
It's because they're angry they're not getting what they want.
And I get that.
They're angry that they're not getting. They're angry that we're doing this for nothing, right? And they're angry that they're not getting their free content.
Yeah. Speaking of which, how many adverts do you think should pop in this one?
What do you mean?
Just spam it with adverts.
Well, I don't know what you're talking
something out of it.
What are you talking about?
This podcast.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
Can you do that now?
Yeah.
None.
For the first one. First one's free.
First one's
free. And then you're in this with us, because, do you know what I mean?
But how much money are you going to make out of that?
Well, let's find out. Let's find out. That's something we could achieve together.
Yeah.
How much money can you make us?
How much money?
Get on board with this.
How much money can you make us? Yeah, look, or I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll build it up, and then at the end we'll create a fan base, so that if there's like, let's be really transparent about this, if there's like 6,000 people viewing this, 6,000, 7,000, that's what I estimate will happen for this, right?
6,700. Okay.
Between 6,000 and 7,000.
Sorry.
Right, we'll build it up so that you're still like fervent for it, like, because the amount of people that did message us, all jokes aside, saying where is it? It was amazing, but it just, you can't talk about it really. So but what we'll do is we'll build it up to get to a point where you're so heavily involved, and then we'll stick it behind a paywall, and then you'll pay or you fuck off.
Yeah.
So and all we need really is like 500 of them doing it. It's a nice little bit of cheddar for us.
Oh, and then we can like Then it's not like
a lovely bit of.
Then everyone's winning.
Yeah, bunts.
Yeah.
A nice bit of bunts. And if you don't care enough about us and this product,
probably not watching.
You're definitely not watching still. But if you don't care about us and the product, then you won't pay, and we don't really care about you. But if you're willing to pay, and we get that lovely moolah, sweet money,
everyone's happy.
Everyone's happy. The people that are paying are happy because they're getting the content one. Yeah. We're happy because we're getting paid.
Yeah.
I like tick. And everyone who doesn't care,
off you go.
See you later.
Yeah, you can
go and watch some other free content. This ain't free anymore.
Yeah, true.
We value ourselves too highly.
Absolutely.
Why are you wearing pajama top, by the way?
It's not. This is a Vans. This is a nice top. No.
Yeah.
Huh? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Let's do the intro titles again because they're class.